Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a great day so far. My name is Ana Zambrano. I am the transfer coordinator for Cal State LA, so I work with all prospective students interested in transferring from a community college and sometimes even from other Cal States or UC. So I appreciate you all being here. During this presentation, I'm going to talk about Cal State LA, our admissions requirements, and any important information that you might need as you are preparing to transfer to Cal State LA. For those of you that don't know where Cal State LA is, we are very, very centrally located to downtown. If you notice this image here, this image is taken from one of our buildings up in the ceiling, on the roof of one of our buildings, and downtown is right over here. So we're very, very, very close to Cal State, to downtown LA, and that's why we always say that we are LA because we're so close to it. So again, a little bit about the campus. We are a mid-sized campus, I would say. We have on average about 21 students per class. Currently, we have 22,740 students enrolled within one of our 55 undergraduate, 5 graduate, and 10 credential programs, as well as our 4 doctoral programs. So we have a lot of opportunities for students to complete their bachelor's degree, but also continue with their professional certifications. So please know that you have those opportunities throughout your stay here in the campus. We're also, because we are centrally located, we are one of the few campuses that actually has a Metrolink station. So if you need to travel by train or by bus, we are very, very strategically placed, right, or located for public transportation. For those of you that are interested in sports or soccer specifically, we do have a pro soccer team here on campus. The LAFC actually trains here on campus. So we have a lot of different things that you can see within the campus. We have been designated as an Asian American and Native Pacific Islander serving institution, a Hispanic serving institution, and a minority serving institution. We are very proud to say that we are student-centered throughout, not only while you're in class, but also with the services that we provide. Because we have been working with people of different backgrounds and different ethnicities, and also different economic backgrounds, we have been able to support a lot of students. And that is part of the reason why we have been noted as #1 in upward mobility, according to Source Case. We're also an R2 research institution. What that means is that a lot of our faculty and our students are actually conducting research while they are here at Cal State LA. And that means that you would have those types of opportunities here. We're also the first campus that has a Chicano Studies program. We actually pioneered the CLS or Chicana Studies program in 1968 during the Civil Rights Movement. So we are, again, very much understanding or cognizant of what students are looking for in their programs. We're also among the top 10 campuses according to U.S. News and World Report. Because of these different things, the results of these different things are because we have all of these different leading innovation labs, right, that are giving you additional support services. So some of these support services that we offer include the Hertzberg Davis Forensic Science Center, where if you are looking to pursue areas like if you're looking into forensics, we have a center specifically for you to utilize for you as a student, but also a lot of our community also uses it. We work very closely with the LAPD and Sheriff Station, who actually utilize the center for their crime scene investigations. We also have the LA Biospace Business Incubator and the Patricia Chin School of Nursing. The School of Nursing Simulation Center, for those of you that are interested in nursing, or if you know anyone interested in nursing, you get to actually practice in a state-of-the-art lab before you actually go out into the field and work with human beings. So this is a really good opportunity to get your some hands-on practice before you get out in the field. Our motto actually is start here and finish here. As a transfer student, of course, you're starting here as a junior, but we also want you to have a clear path from the time you start your junior year all the way up. If you ever deciding to pursue a graduate program, we have those paths for you and want to make sure that you have an understanding of what that's going to look like. We also want you to build meaningful connections. So we have a lot of different opportunities in these areas, not only in the classroom, but also with our internship opportunities and our student organizations, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. Part of these connections, like I said, these early internship opportunities, we don't just want you to have hands-on, we don't just want you to build connections or just learn from books. We also want you to have hands-on experience. So these internship and research networking opportunities are established for that reason, and they are embedded within a lot of our programs. We want you to be part of our alumni. These are some of our most notable alumni here at Cal State LA. You'll notice that we have individuals in many different areas, from CEOs to directors to faculty, and even individuals in law or even in politics and in the film industry. So we are across the board in all different sectors are making an impact. Just to highlight a few of our most notable alumni, we have Sasha Rene Perez, who is actually the senator for District 25. We also have Dr. Juan Sanchez Munoz, who is the chancellor of UC Merced, and Isaac Larian, who is the CEO of MGM Entertainment. Again, these are just a few of our most popular, most notable alumni who are really making an impact in the world and in society. And then just another one of our very close to our hearts, our alumni, Billie Jean King, who is a famous tennis player, but she's also a social and political activist. So again, we are everywhere. We want you to be part of this community as you're going through and transferring here to Cal State LA. These are a few of our most popular programs: business administration, psychology, criminal justice, child development, and biology. Again, this is for fall 2024, and it hasn't really changed for fall 2025. Historically, these have been very, very popular programs. Part of the reason our criminal justice program is so popular, again, is because we have those strong connections with law enforcement. Our business program is one of the top in California, and psychology is very popular across the CSU, but we also have a very strong program here at Cal State LA. Again, you do get that hands-on experience and that hands-on practice that you don't get in a lot of places. So that's why I think we have that great opportunity. But we also have very unique programs like our engineering technology program, the fire protection administration program, which is only for transfer students. And we also have the Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services. These different majors, just for context, we have 55 different bachelor's degree for our students coming in as transfers. These are just a few, like I said, our most popular ones or our most unique ones. And the reason why we have so many different programs is because we want to help you find the major or the field that really is going to build your skills in the field that you want to go into. Just as an example here, if you are interested in going into counseling and you're going into psychology, we have an alternative path, right? Or if you decide that you don't want to go through psychology, we have the Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services, which is a counseling-based program, and that actually has a lot of psychologists or counselors are looking to do. It's a counseling. All of the courses are in counseling. The way that I usually like explaining these two as examples is psychology is very much about what's going on up in your mind, right? And rehabilitation services, what you're going to give to people or what's coming from your heart, right? How you're going to support people. So these are just, again, examples of what we are doing, of the ways that we are supporting students and building your skills as a professional. The demographics, and I'm going to go more, I'm not going to focus too much on our transfer demographics, but I'll focus on our, I'm freshman demographics. I'll look more at our transfers. This is as of last year, we had over 13,000 applications come in for fall 2025. 11,000, close to 12,000 were admitted, and we have close to 3,000 that came into Cal State LA. Many of our students actually received an ADT, but as you will hear very shortly, it is not always required for you to have an associate degree to transfer. While it does help, it isn't always required. I'll talk about that shortly. The cutoff for 2025, the GPA, it will vary, but generally it's about a 2.0. On average, our students are coming in with a 3.34. And again, on average, it's usually going to be a 2.0, but that'll vary for some programs. As far as actually acquiring skills or gaining skills, it's not just about going to school, right? There's a lot of other things that you can do. So some of the things that you can benefit from it will include study abroad programs, the Mobility Center, if you're interested in working with understanding and researching how to improve people's lives if they have had any kind of traumatic injury or just like be able to move or have a better quality of life. The Mobility Center is incredible for that. We also have the Television, Film, and Media Center. So if you are interested in production or pre or post production, the TV, Film, and Media Center is actually incredible for that as well. And like I said earlier, we also have these different opportunities for fieldwork where you actually get to practice what you're learning in class. Going back to our study abroad program, we currently work with over 15 different countries, including Germany, Japan, and France. So you can get exposure from what's going on outside of just the US, right? There's a lot of things happening that you can actually benefit from and actually learn from. Sometimes that lived experience can be more exciting and more critical as you're moving into your field. But please know that if you are considering study abroad, your financial aid can also be applied towards this program. Now, going into the nitty-gritty of our admissions for transfers. We have technically three different types of transfers. We have lower division transfers, and we have upper division transfers, and then we have a unique group like that has attended Cal State LA in the past, and that is our returning transfers. I'll focus on the first two more, and then we'll follow up with our returning transfer information. For lower division, these would be students that have fewer than 60 units, transferable units, by the time you are ready to come into Cal State LA. So as an example, if you are currently applying for fall of 2026, by the end of spring of 2026, you have fewer than 60 units. So that means 59 or less. To be admitted or to be considered for admission as a lower division transfer student, you need to meet the freshman requirements, which include your A through Gs with a C- or better, a 2.5 GPA as a California resident in your high school requirements, or a 3.0 as a non-California resident. Your transferable courses, again, fewer than 60 units, but you need your English composition and your math or quantitative reasoning, okay? Those two areas are going to be required with a C- or better. And your transferable GPA, that means your community college classes, you need a 2.0 or higher. You do also need to be in good academic standing at the community college you're currently attending. And if you attended a high school with less than 3 years of language other than English, you will also need to complete the English language proficiency. For more details on the language proficiency requirement, you can always go to the website to follow up about that information. For upper division transfer students, that means that you're going to have 60 units or more when you transfer, okay? This is 60 semester units. To the requirements, the main course requirements that you need to transfer will be the Golden 4 requirements, okay? So that is your English composition, critical thinking, oral communication, and your math and quantitative reasoning requirement. Okay, those are the 4 main courses that you need, in addition, of course, to the 60 transferable units. Your GPA, as a transfer student, you need a 2.0 or higher, and that's for most of our programs. I'll go over some of the unique majors that will require additional requirements, but for most of our majors, it's going to be a 2.0 or higher. Of course, you also need to be in good academic standing at your current campus, and if you have fewer than 60 units, you will also need, and you went to a campus with a language taught other than English, then you also need the language proficiency exam. Like I mentioned, some of the majors, some of the campuses majors have additional criteria. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here just so you can see a little bit better. We have what's called the major specific criteria. And this is for some majors that are more competitive or have additional requirements. These include our criminal justice major, fire protection administration, music BM, nursing, psychology, social work, and the urban learning for teacher preparation. The reason why these have additional criteria, like I said, it's generally because they are more competitive or they have specializations. And I'll talk about that in this slide now. The competitive majors include our criminal justice, nursing, psychology, and social work. Our specialized majors include our fire protection administration, music BM, and urban learning teacher prep. And like I said, these are specializations. So as an example, with urban learning, because you are going into a program that has a license issued by the state, you are required to meet the GPA for that specific license, which will be a 2.5 or higher. Now, for our highly competitive majors, you can find, or even our 3 specialized majors, you can find additional criteria on our website. So you can actually just go onto the website under major specific criteria, and that'll give you more details about these requirements. I'll speak about the nursing, the music BM just very briefly, and nursing. With music BM, because it is a specialized major, this will require an audition. Now, if you're applying for the BA, that's more of a theoretical practice, right? So it's not going to be more performance-based. So if it's the music BA, you don't need an audition, but if it's the music BM, you do need to audition, okay? The nursing program, you do have to complete your science classes with the B or better on the first try, okay? And a higher GPA, and there is a supplemental application as well. That, again, can also be found on the website for additional details. You're all applying currently during this transition period where our system, the CSU system, has switched over to CalGETC. The coding for some of these classes that you're taking, including the Golden 4 criteria, has changed a little bit, but it will not change anything on your end very much. Just know that the course numbering is going to change. Okay, so just know that. And you can actually talk to your counselor at your community college to find out how and where this is changing. Okay, it's not really going to impact your requirements as much, but just know that this has changed a little bit. Okay. The next thing, right now you're all probably working on your application. You're all probably trying to figure out where you're going to apply and when to apply. But if you're not there yet, we do have what we call our LA Next initiative. And this is a program where you can get a guaranteed admissions, okay, through one of our 2 pathways. So LA Next has a Transfer Success Pathway, or TSP, which is a CSU-wide initiative or program that has a guaranteed admission to the major and the program that you select. With Cal State LA, TSP has 53 of our 55 bachelor's degrees as part of our TSP program. So you can actually go into many of our programs with a guaranteed path. We'll also offer additional support services and invite you to specialized events for our LA Next students. If you're not part of TSP or you're not eligible for TSP, you can go through our GAP program, our Guaranteed Admissions Pathway. It is open for all students who may not qualify for TSP and are pursuing one of the majors that is that's not impacted, right? So we have a lot of opportunities for you that has that guaranteed admission. Okay. If you have additional questions about that, I can definitely go more in depth later on. But just know that for students to participate in TSP, you have to go through the transfer planner, which is a tool that you can utilize to see your academic history, stay on track with your academic history, track your GE requirements, and explore majors and campuses as well. And then when you finish all of your requirements and you're ready to transfer, you can jumpstart your application from the transfer planner. Okay, that's also how you can also apply for either TSP or our GAP program through the planner. If you create an account, we can definitely follow up and ensure that you're on track, or if you qualify for either one of the programs. I mentioned the third category of our transfer students, right? Our returning students. We have returning students and we also have returning transfers. A returning student is someone that has not taken college coursework and is ready after leaving Cal State LA and is ready to be readmitted based on their academic standing. Okay. If you're changing majors, you do have to meet with your advisor to see if you qualify for that major and you're ready to transfer in. A returning transfer is someone who has taken coursework in community college or another school after leaving Cal State LA. Readmission, again, is based on prior academic standing, and you do also need to meet with your transfer advisor just to ensure that you are ready to return. If you were academically disqualified, you must reapply for admission, meet with an academic advisor for the intended major, and the advisor can confirm if you're ready to continue or return. Okay. If you're returning from educational leave, you can just and you can come back if it's 2 years or less and you're in good academic standing. So you can just follow up with your advisor to confirm if you are eligible to register for classes. Now, many of you are transfers. So if you live in the area, this may or may not be relevant to you. But if you're interested in housing on campus, I will say this, it is always a great opportunity for everyone to build community and to have a sense of belonging here on campus if you're living here in one of the housing residences. The main thing that you get is obviously you're going to be right on campus, but you also have themed communities, which means that these people that you're going to be living with in that space have similar interests as you. We have the STEM community. We have the transfer community for you all if you're interested. And again, these are people that are going through the same experiences as you. So it's a really good space for you to also not only make connections, but also have someone that understands what your own experience, right? The rooms are furnished, so you get Wi-Fi, lounges, and study spaces that you can utilize at any point during the day, actually during the semester. And you always have someone here on staff to help you. So there's someone here 24/7 if you're living on campus. And I mentioned this earlier as well, but we want you also to build connections here on campus. So we have over 120 different clubs and organizations that you can be a part of. So there's a lot of people that have different types of passions and interests, and you can be part of that group. You would definitely be able to go into these meetings and join them and get like acquainted with what they're pursuing or what they're doing. And you can also share your interests as well. A lot of groups also do community service. I'll share one example of the student organizations here on campus. We have the Rehabilitation Counseling Association as an example, who does like blanket drives in the winter for like around Thanksgiving. And then in the spring/summer, they have a backpack drive. So they're focusing very heavily on community service. We also have our business majors that have student organizations. And again, they help you network and you get to go to different workshops and even conferences with your student org. Another example is our engineering program, right? Our engineering students have a student organization and they actually get to go to competitions, build their own like kind of like race cars, and they take them into these competitions. And these are, again, all part of our student orgs that get to do different things outside of the classroom, but are still building their skills professionally and academically. We are an NCAA Division II athletic. We have several different teams that are NCAA Division II, and we also have signature events here on off campus, I should say, like Cal State LA Night at Dodger Stadium. So there's a lot of great opportunities for you to build connections on campus, but also off campus. And I personally always encourage students to participate in our student government. If you want to have your voice heard and make changes within your program and within the university, the student government ASI is a great space for you to do that. We offer a lot of different support services for you as a student. So some of the services that we offer include our academic support services, wellness and counseling, our community and belonging services, and our access and inclusion services. As far as our academic services, you're community college students, so you probably are or have met with a counselor in the past. If you haven't, I always encourage it. Okay, it is very much needed to have someone who understands the major to help you through the program. At Cal State LA, you really are not going to have an option not to participate or join your advisor. You're going to be meeting with an advisor at least once per semester to ensure that you're on track with your major. This is important because, again, we want you to graduate successfully and on time. So this is a good opportunity for you to make connections. Also, again, not only make connections, but also ensure that you're on track with your requirements. The first year experience is a great space as well to connect with other people that are just starting with you. And then we also have the Educational Opportunity Program, or EOP, which I'll come back to in a little bit and share a little bit more about that. And then we have the CSU Success Program, which is a technology loan program here at Cal State LA. You actually get, if you don't have technology of your own and you need help borrowing a laptop, you can loan one here on campus. Take one as a loaner. And you can also borrow an iPad with a keyboard and Apple Pencil for while you're here at Cal State LA. Again, this is part of the amenities and resources that we have for you to ensure that you are successful in your programs. Now, I'm talking a lot about our resources and I'm talking a lot about your personal experience, right? What we want you to experience at Cal State LA. But please know that Cal State LA is a super affordable campus. And I'm going to talk about financial aid a little bit, but you should know that we are one of the most affordable campuses in the CSU. Overall, you're generally paying, I would say, roughly about $7,500 a year. But you do have financial aid opportunities, right? Just a little side note, the application is currently open for fall 2026. It opened October 1st and the deadline will be March 2nd. So you have some time to fill out your FAFSA form. On average, our students, this is from last year, based on last year's information, our students received about $12,000 in financial aid. That includes loans, but that is still financial aid. 94% of our students received financial aid. And out of those, that type of financial aid, we actually granted about $273 million in grants and scholarships. So that is free money that our students were granted. From that money, some of it comes from scholarships, and actually we offered about 400 different scholarships last year. Okay. And that is expected, that will vary from year to year, but that was last year's numbers. And just so you know, we do try to make it as easy as possible for you to actually earn some kind of scholarship. You would submit your application at one form. So if you are being admitted in fall of 2026, you can actually access the scholarship application in spring of 2027. So once you're here, you can access that application. It's one form. You fill it out, submit it, and then the form will go to any scholarship that we have in our queue that you would qualify for. And from there, you would be evaluated for or reviewed for that scholarship. So it's very, very easy. And we want you to have that money, right? We have it accessible for you. So please utilize our resources when you are here at Cal State LA. I mentioned that I was going to talk about EOP, our Educational Opportunity Program. I know at community college they call it EOPS. It is the same program or a very similar program. It is intended to support our first generation low income and educationally disadvantaged students, to have additional resources and help you thrive in college. To be eligible for EOP, you do have to be first generation low income or educationally disadvantaged. You also, some of the resources that you would get include additional counseling and advising, financial aid support, priority registration, and you also get opportunities to participate in leadership programs. I would say, personally, given the fact that you're coming in as seniors, having priority registration is crucial because you get to choose your classes early on and you don't have to worry about your classes being full by the time you're ready to enroll in classes. So please, if you qualify, I encourage you to submit it. It is a form that you would fill out through your Cal State Apply application. And you can only apply for it the first year that you're applying. Okay, so if you're currently filling out your Cal State Apply application, right now is the time to fill it out. Okay, the FAFSA, the EOP form is part of your Cal State Apply. And why should you do it, right? Definitely personalized guidance. Like we want you to have the best opportunity, and you'll have someone on your court all the time, right, to help you through this process. Because we know that education, especially for first generation students, and I'll speak for my own experience, right? It's not always easy to do this. So having that additional support to like cheer you on and help you through the process is super beneficial. It'll definitely help out. Now, what does it look like for transfer students? Like, what does the timeline look like, right? Right now, we are looking at our admission cycle. Fall, October through December is usually our application cycle. Currently, we are accepting for fall 2026, and the application deadline is December 1st. So you have some time to fill out your application if you're ready to apply. And the decisions will begin in December based on self-reported information. So whatever you note on your application is what we will take for your admission. And this will be conditional admission, okay? Everybody's conditionally admitted. And that just means that by the time you finish in May or June, whenever you finish the spring, we will need to have your final transcripts to ensure that you're on track. You'll need to submit transcripts throughout, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but just know that that's what the conditional admission really means, is that we want to make sure that you have all of your requirements, that you submit all of your documents, and that you are enrolling in classes in August. In January, so the application the application closes on December 1st. In January or January 1st, the application generally opens again so that you can make updates. And that would be any coursework that you're currently taking. So Cal State Apply, you're going to list any fall classes as in progress. In January, you come back and update that with your final grades. That deadline for you to make these updates will be January 31st. I mentioned the deadline for FAFSA. It is March 2nd, okay? You have some time to fill it out, but please submit it as early as possible so that you don't miss that cutoff. The earlier you submit your FAFSA form, the earlier our financial aid office can review your documents and confirm that you qualify for it. I mentioned the transcripts need to be submitted several times. Generally, 30 days after you have been admitted, you would submit your first set of transcripts. That's when we will verify what you reported on the transcript to ensure that you're on track with admission. In May, there is what we call ECD deadline, enrollment confirmation deposit, and this is essentially a down payment. It's $100 where you indicate that you are attending Cal State LA, and the deadline is May 1st. There will be some summer activities between May and August, including our orientation, and that you will find out as you're going through the application process. Sometime in May or June, you'll hear about our orientation. Final transcripts with your spring grades are due July 15th. Okay, so that you have some time. Don't stress about it right now. Just right now. At this point, you want to focus on finishing your classes for fall, registering for winter if you're taking classes in the winter, and spring if you're taking classes in the spring, and then submit any final transcript as early as possible. For fall 2026, the semester at Cal State LA is going to start on August 24th. So again, by this time next year, you will be finishing your first semester of college or university if you're applying for fall 2026. This is the building we're in. I'm actually currently sitting in the building as we speak. We are on the first floor. The Admissions and Transfer Center is here on the first floor, right when you come into the main entrance. We're open from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. And our phone number is 323-343-3901. And we always answer our phones. So please, if you want to give us a call, you have specific questions, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can email us at admission@calstatela.edu. And I always encourage students follow us, especially on Instagram, because we do use all our social media platforms, but Instagram where you'll see more activity. So please follow us on our social media so that you can find out about any upcoming event, activity, or information session that can help you through the process.